Welcome to a new episode and brand new series of Think Out Loud. And this series is going to be exciting. It's going to be full packed with interviews, speaking to a number of different people. And there has been loads going on since we last spoke. So much to fill you in on. I'm actually moving house again, which is probably a surprise to some of you. For those that know me quite well, probably not a surprise at all. So I've been planning for this year's series and a slightly different twist, but keeping a similar format that people are familiar with and that I've had a lot of positive feedback on. So a lot of people have enjoyed the initial quickfire rounds and have advised that maybe if they were a little bit more punchy, a little shorter, or maybe 1 or 2 questions rather than 3, then that may work out quite well. So we're going to play with that a little bit. I have been very busy. As I say, I'm moving house again next week. It's always so stressful, but I keep doing it to myself. I do think I must have some kind of addiction to moving house or buying houses, or get bored of staying in one place for too long. Either way, it's exciting, and it is still going to be by the sea, which is fantastic. Slightly longer walk, but that means that I'm only going to be more fit by the time I've moved down there and started to walk to the beach in less than 20 minutes rather than less than 10. I have done a lot of things over the last few months since we spoke, from finishing off this house, the decoration, the plumbing, the garden, the conservatory, really getting it ready to sell. So that's been quite interesting. I've also turned my hand to try some upholstery, which is a brand new thing for me. I had an old chair which my nana actually had given to me many years ago, and it is one of those chairs that sits in the corner of your room and gets covered with clothes, and doesn't really have much of a purpose, and it was looking a bit shabby, not shabby chic, just shabby, and the foam was and the support had basically gone, so you couldn't really use it as a seat at all. So I've decided to unpick all of that, all the 10 million staples in the bottom of it, take it apart, take photos at every step of the way, so I knew what I was doing when I piece it back together, because I knew it wasn't going to be a quick job. And I've bought this amazing fabric with a deer head pattern, a sort of stag pattern across it, which is quite nice. So I'll inform you on how we get on with that. It's a bit daunting, but we're getting there. We're at the stripped down and painted the legs, ready to now rebuild that old archaic chair to something beautiful. So let's see how that goes. Been very busy with business, with work, with planning. We've been trying to make a shift as to how our business actually works and interacts with other businesses. So there's been a lot of brain power, a bit like the Borg, plugging my brain into my computer to try and download the information, because I literally cannot convey it as well as I would like, and then kind of get it into one place and try and make sense of it, and go through it and plan it and figure out the best way forward. So kind of, I guess, doing what we help other clients to do, but doing it with ourselves, which has been quite an interesting and challenging process as well. I have been lining up the interviews for you. I know that those have definitely been the hot spots over series 1. People have given me a lot of good feedback on the interviews, really enjoyed them, enjoyed listening to the different people that I was talking to, and wanted more. So I have been dragging in my contacts, kicking and screaming, to do some interviews with me, and hopefully you will enjoy those. We've got a variety of people across different markets, different sectors, different interests, And we're going to be talking about things like innovation within marketing, AI, and sort of automation of software, how remote working and hybrid working has been supported by technology and innovation as well. And also sort of honing in on skill sets and the individuals, how to hire whilst people have been working from home, how to gel with teams when you haven't actually met them. So I was speaking to someone the other day who was first back to the office for many years, and they were meeting people that they had been conversing with on calls or on emails, and didn't even know that that was that individual, where they hadn't sort of shared their screen images or whatever. So they were doing just sort of hidden video calls without the video on, so it was just audio, and they didn't realize that that was the person they'd been dealing with, because they're in a room and you know, you don't know what they look like, and you get chatting, you go, oh, hold on, hi, it's me. I'm the person that's been speaking to you over email and messaging you and whatever. So that was a bit of a weird one. So there's been lots going on in the market: metaverse, cryptocurrencies, even Omicron and the impact of COVID still dragging around our necks. Apparently, it's the highest UK volume of COVID cases that we've seen ever right now, but that seems to not be in the news. Obviously, overshadowed by some devastating news about Ukraine and Russia, but also Will Smith and the Oscars. Whatever. Not sure what that was all about, whether it was a publicity stunt or whether it was him just being a complete idiot. I mean, who gets up on stage and smacks someone around the face and then is allowed to get up on stage and actually accept an award? It all seems a bit odd to me. Did massively boost the figures, apparently, of the Oscars, which were dwindling. So, you know, maybe there's an ulterior motive there. Who knows? Just my opinion, just my thoughts running through my head. The other thing that came up, which was quite interesting, on conversation, on a WhatsApp conversation, of all things, between me and my friends the other week, we were kind of, you know, stressing out about internet service providers and how awful they are. And I'm moving house and how it's so frustrating trying to pin them down. I had this whole problem last time with Virgin Media, and now again I'm having problems. I'd booked in with Sky. I know, loads of you are going to say, don't go with Sky, they're terrible, but it's kind of picking the best of a bad bunch, right? Virgin didn't do the location, so I've now got to prove that I'm actually out of contract because they can't give me the internet in the property that I would be at, and I've got to prove to them all of these cases so that they don't charge me a get out of the contract fee, which has frustrated me already. The person in the house that I'm buying from apparently got declined the line to be taken over once they leave. Now, this is probably completely accidental, but what a stupid process. So I agreed to go with Sky. They book it in, they book the switchover date. So I know when I'm going to get the internet live in my new property, which is quite important for my job. And then I get an email and a text saying, please call Sky because actually your order has been cancelled. So I called them up and I say to the guy, why has my order been cancelled? He goes, oh, hold on, let me check for you, madam. He goes and checks, he looks, he can't find anything. It says it's just been cancelled. I'm not sure. He puts me on hold. He goes away again. He comes back. He still can't find the reason. Finally, apparently Openreach, who are responsible for putting the lines into the actual properties, they've cancelled it because this buyer has declined for the line to be taken over. I was like, okay, well, why has that happened? Why would they decline it if it's at a later date? And they turned around and said, well, they shouldn't have. We don't know. That doesn't really normally happen. I said, well, have you told them that it's the date after they no longer own that property. He said, well, I can't share with you what the letter was or what the communication was. I don't know what that was. I said, okay, well, what do we do? What if we like go forward again and they decline it again? He said, well, if that happens 3 times, you have to pay for a brand new line to be put in. What? Sorry, what? I have to pay because some person who I'm buying a property off of has got some shoddy letter probably to say, oh, we're going to take over your line, panicked, gone, oh my God, I need the internet until I leave and move out of here. So they've panicked and said no, and now that's causing a huge issue. How is this so difficult? It must happen all the time. People move house, buy house, rent house all the time. How can I not just get the internet live for the day I move in? It is crazy, crazy, crazy times. You would think that by now, in the day and age that we're living in, that the internet is kind of, quite important for most people's jobs, particularly when they're working from home. So why exactly is that a thing? I don't know. It just really wound me up. I'd go into more details, but I just don't want to talk about it anymore. And it just really frustrates you. It gives you like anxiety that you're not going to be able to get the internet set up in time to do your job, to earn your money, to pay for the things that you need, pay for the bills and pay for the internet, right? Idiots. Oh, let's stop talking about it. Anyway, back on track. This is a brand new series. There's loads of good stuff going to go on. We're going to talk to some great people. If anyone also is interested in being on the podcast, then, ping me a message either on LinkedIn, or you can find me on YouTube, right in the comments on YouTube, or just ping me an email at rachel.mepham@digital-clarity.com. Lovely to speak to you again. It's been too long. Sorry for the break, but it takes a lot of brain power to put these things together and find all the right people and plan it all out. So hopefully it will be worth the wait. I really look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care. See you then. Bye-bye.